The market rips to new all-time highs as Trump takes back the presidency. That's good for the bulls, right? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, and quite frankly for the last few weeks, I've been telling you we have a setup for a bullish move higher toward the 6,000 plus and 22,000 plus areas on the ES and NASDAQ respectively, and that's exactly what we saw as the market continued to break out in a big way as Trump took back the presidency. So now the question is that good for the bulls? I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, as always, before we jump into the analysis, we are going to take a look at the indicator. We had another trend day. Trend days are not great trading days for day traders, so there wasn't a ton of action, but let's jump in and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute SPY chart. We are in trading view, and we are using the Invest with Jacob Pivot Point Pro indicator you can see right here. The blue sections of the chart are the after hours trading, and the white section is regular trading, and that is what we trade. Trend days are not great days for day traders, and that's what we saw yesterday, as it was a trend day that basically pulled back real quick and then moved up the rest of the day. If you want to get this indicator, you have to have trading view, and you have to have real-time data on the NQ and the ES. And I'll show you how to get this indicator later. It's crushing the market. If you've been watching my videos, you know that it's absolutely killing in most days. This day wasn't terrible. It certainly wasn't a bad day. It just wasn't a normal indicator day where we absolutely kill it. So it was looking to buy the open here. That was a stop out. Then it sold down. You got a buy down here that was absolutely great. Killed this one. You got a sell right here that was great. This is actually just one trade because you never stop out. This trade comes down, you get another sell signal. It comes all the way down. You get a great sell here, so two winners here, and then you get the 3 strikes in your out rule. And essentially what's happening is you have an exaggerated move up in the overnight, so the indicator is really looking for a reversal to the downside. That's what it wants to see. But on days like this where you get a trend day, you just don't get those reversals. So you get 3 strikes and you're out here, and then the rest of the day you just sit out and wait till the next better setup for trading. So you still had 2 winning trades. This buy was a really good winner, and this sell was a pretty good winner, and all of these were quick losers. So it's just not an amazing day. It's still a good day, just not an amazing day for the indicator. But as you've seen over the last several weeks, I show this every single day. We have absolutely killed the market. It catches tops and bottoms really, really well. And if you want to get this indicator and you want trading to be easy, emotion to be taken out of trades, and you want to just be able to say, oh, there's a buy signal, I can buy the market. There's a sell signal, I can sell the market. It does come with stops and everything else. Simply check out our website. There's a link down in the description that will take you right over to our website. It'll take you to our membership plans trading view indicators page. It's $59 per month or $5.90 for the year. And here's what I'll do, because it's such a great indicator and I know that you will absolutely love it. I want to make it risk-free. I want you to try this indicator because I know that it will change the game for you. You will finally be able to sit back, relax, and trade with confidence. And that's really what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. You buy the indicator, use it for 30 days. If it doesn't do what I say it does, if it's not for you, if it's not something you want to continue with, shoot me an email. I'll refund your purchase, take away the access to the indicator, and we'll both move on. No harm done, and you get to see how it works. So 30-day money-back guarantee, guys. I highly encourage you to check that out. Now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so before we actually jump into the analysis, I want to go over a few different things. First, let's talk about the election. Obviously, Trump won the election yesterday. I don't care if you're for or against Trump. That doesn't matter to me. I'm here to make money, and I'm here to help you make money. But what I do want to dispel is the rumor of which candidate is better for the market. The answer is neither. Neither candidate. It doesn't matter. And the reason we know this is because we can look at the data and say, okay, the market didn't move up because of Trump. How can I say that? Well, let's first of all talk about the Elliott Wave setup we've been talking about for a while. I've said this is a very bullish setup. As long as they hold support, we are looking to 6,000 plus and a pretty direct move after this 1-2-1-2 I've been talking about. We'll get into that in just a minute. But on top of that, before the election ever happened, we were talking about that. And on top of that, before the data was even in, the market was skyrocketing. So if you look here on November 5th, where's our open at? So we got the open right here. So the market immediately skyrockets at 6:30 a.m. on November 5th. Not a vote has been tallied. Straight up for most of the day. They closed the market up here at about 58.17. So like a 60-point move up 0 votes tallied. Then we get into the after hours. Well, the first polls didn't close until 6 o'clock. Market shot straight up, and we already knew where those were going. Kentucky and Indiana were always going to be Trump no matter what. So we already knew that that was going to be the case. There was no surprises there, nothing, no news, no votes that even mattered. And by the time they called the election, which was 11 o'clock, my time anyway, 11 p.m. my time, the market was all the way up here around 5,900. So the market had already moved up over 100 points before anybody even knew who was going to win the election. So they didn't know who was going to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, or any of the swing states. They didn't know who was going to win the western swing states. All of this data came in after the market had already moved up. So they didn't care who won the election. The market was going to do what the market was going to do. Now everybody's going to tell you today, Trump wins, market soars. I disagree. I think the market soars is the headline because of the setup and because of technical analysis and because of the key levels. You see it, you knew it before the election tallies even happened, and this is why the news cycles get you. This is why the news thinks that you'll click and read because you'll say, oh yeah, Trump won, he's a businessman, so the market went up. That's definitely not the case. You can see it here. I can show you multitudes of data that go this way, whether it's earnings or CPI or Fed or anything else. The market is going to do what the market is going to do. Now, the second part of that is Trump winning good for the bulls overall? The answer is it doesn't matter. No one is going to stop what I think is going to happen to the market. And everybody's saying, oh, why do you think there's a big crash? You know, you're so bearish. I'm not bearish. First, support has to break before the crash can happen. Second, it's a warning and it's smart to be safe and protect your money. Third, if you look at our banking system right now, remember in 2008, there was one thing that brought down the markets. It was the junk loans that were 5-year arms, 3-year arms that put people in default, overbought houses that were put in with A-grade loans. The housing market collapsed. Right now on banking sheets, you have Amazon who put commercial businesses out of business. You have COVID that put small businesses out of businesses. Banks are holding on to a record amount of commercial real estate that they can't get rid of, that they can't sell because nobody wants to open a brick and mortar business. They figured out that working from home is more efficient, and Amazon puts you out of business anyway, and the rents are too high. So nobody's buying these real estates. These banks have a ton of debt there. Consumer credit is at the highest levels it's been at in 25 years and defaulting at a quick rate. And you're going to have reinflation and interest rates are going to go back up. So the housing market is going to stagnate. And all of this is that's 3 items that can flip the switch on the banks. If you add into that, the FDIC is broke. The people who insure the banks that say, hey, if the bank can pay you, we will, they're broke. The Fed is $2 billion in debt. Yeah, the Fed's in debt. All of this is adding up, and this market will keep pushing till it reaches its peak, and then the breaking point will come. And no one is going to stop that. If the Fed tries to bail out the market, they're going to have to print so much money and be so far in debt that the dollar will lose its value. It will no longer be the world currency. These are all real things. Now listen, I am not peddling fear. I'm not the guy that puts up fear headlines and says, oh, gloom and doom, come to my site because of whatever. I'm telling you what's real and what's out there and what we're looking for. However, until support breaks, this market has pressure that will push it up. It has buyers in the market, and there is no reason to be completely fearful. It is prudent to be safe. We actually moved to gold back in April of this year, and it's outperformed the market. So my people have outperformed the stock market because we understood where to be safe, and gold has a setup for a very bullish rally. These are things that are very important. These are things you need to understand about your life and your money. And being safe with your money is extremely important, especially when we're nearing catastrophic levels of the market moving up. These are things that will affect the country in a very negative way and will affect bank accounts in a negative way. Remember, a third of the banks in the country closed in 2008 because they couldn't handle the crash. It will be worse if it happens the way I see it. I hope I'm wrong, guys. I really do. I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to be the thing. But I can't ignore all the signs that are out there. Okay, let's jump into the analysis. Okay, guys, here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the SP 500. And one thing I will note, in addition to that, is you have a 100-year bull cycle coming to an end on the Elliott Wave count. So I am an Elliott Wave person. You might be saying, you just gave us all these other things that aren't the market. It's in conjunction with the count. So Elliott Wave is forecasting a major top, and you have all these major issues underlying that people don't know about. So that's an FYI. As we come off of the low, we have our 1, 2, and we've been talking about this as long as they held this low, which they did by a quarter. We had a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then they've launched in what looks like 3 of 3 now. They've taken out the highs, pushed up above it, are still pushing now as we would expect here. Our first level higher is going to be the 6,009 region. Technically, 5980 is an area. The 1236 is our natural target. However, given how deep this pullback was, I would expect them to push up towards 6,009 and where our targets are for our bigger 1, 2. So you have two targets. You have a 1, 2 here, and you have a 1, 2 here, and both of those have targets. This 1, 2 should target roughly the circle 3 of this 1, 2, and then this 1, 2 is the bigger target of the overall move. So because of how deep this was, I would expect the 6,009 area to be a target for this move up, potentially even 60.57. Then we would look for a pullback, a small one, maybe to test this 59.30 level, the breakout zone right here. We'd look for one more push up towards 61.35, a pullback, and then wave 3 to conclude around 6,200 or so. And then we'd look for 4 and 5 to take us up towards 6,300 on the ES. Could be potentially higher, just kind of depends on how the structure fills out, but these are the numbers that project right now. If they continue to extend, for instance, here, then this number will project higher. If they come back a little lower, then this number will project a little lower. Right now I'm looking for 6,009 to 6,057 for this initial move up, then a small pullback, and then continuation to the upside. So bulls are in control of this market. As long as we stay above 58.53, the bulls remain in control. Break back below that would be a potential look above and fail, where they come above this high here and then are unable to complete this cycle, come back, break the support level at 58.50, and should they do that, it's very likely that they will come all the way back down towards 57.25. So 58.53, major level for the bulls to hold. As long as they do, we would see continuation towards 6,300. Over on the NASDAQ. Okay, guys, so on the NASDAQ performed about on par with the ES yesterday. They both were up about 2.5%. NASDAQ slightly outperformed, but you really want to see the NASDAQ start to extend itself and do what the RTY did. The RTY outperformed by 2%. They were for almost 3%, 5.8% yesterday. Whereas the NASDAQ was 2.7, so it outperformed by 3%. That's what you need to see the NASDAQ do into the ES, because the NASDAQ is trailing. ES is at all-time highs, NASDAQ still under its all-time high. So we do want to see the NASDAQ continue and push at a faster rate than the ES. So on the NASDAQ, we would expect them to continue up. The pivot is 21,002 to 21,313, which coincides with this high right here. Very often you reject the pivot the first time through. So we could see them come up into this area and kind of consolidate for a minute and then continue on. We would look for a minimum of 21,776, and quite frankly, that would be the target I'd be looking for just based on the overall structure. It's a little bigger than you would expect based on this shallow wave 2. So 21,776 would be our first target. The normal target would be 22,239, so that is a possibility. However, I do think that's going to be quite extended should they fill out all the way. Once we get to that point, holding 21,026 will remain bullish, and we would look for them to continue up to the 23,000 area. So the NASDAQ remains in a bullish posture. It is now getting ready to challenge the all-time highs. I would expect a little bit of consolidation around there and then a squeeze up towards 21,776, which will coincide with the ES breaking out as well. Now, should the NASDAQ break back below 20,450 right here, this arrow, this middle arrow of the 3, that's your support for right now. If it breaks back below that, it's very likely they're going to come down to 20,000 and probably break below that. So we want to watch that 20,450 area to hold. I would really prefer they hold 20,800 to be quite honest with you, which is the breakout top here at from this wave 1 of 3. As long as they can hold that and push up from there, we are looking for them to continue toward 23,000. If they do break here again, 20,000 comes into view very quickly, and they likely break that level and come down toward that 19,833 level. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It'll take you over to our website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial. That's because I want you to get in here. I want you to make sure you love it, become part of my trading team, and really make sure it's for you before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. You literally have nothing to lose by checking us out. Now, we also have our yearly plans where you do get a discount, but more importantly, we have our educational material. We have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course, as well as our Advanced Elliott Wave course. These courses are helping real traders make real money and understand these crazy markets. We had a very strong idea. In fact, we had a long from Monday that we cashed in for well over 100%, a $10 winner on our option after yesterday's big move, because we had a 1-2-1-2 setup, and that's what we were looking for. So when you understand these patterns, you can make money and trade them, and that's exactly what we do. In the advanced course especially, we go through the complex patterns, your introduction, then we go through your advanced fib levels, diagonals, double and triple threes, flats, and most importantly, how to trade Elliott Wave. We show you where your stops should be, how to get them in there, where to set up. We had that low hit almost to the penny and then sold yesterday right at the open. Again, we bought in for $9, sold for $19.50. So over 100% winner on a $9 option in 1 day or 2 days is pretty outstanding. So we have all of that in the advanced course. You can see on the screen it's helping our traders understand the market and make money. But if it's too advanced and you're just getting started, we also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. I talked at the beginning of this video about news cycles and how they are garbage. It doesn't matter who won the presidency. The market was already up over 100 points when it happened. It had already made up its mind that it was bullish, and we had told you weeks before the election it was bullish. Key levels in technical analysis matter. That is very important to understanding the market, and that is what Elliott Wave gives you. This course is 25 videos where we go through 3 parts: your introduction, where we get you introduced to Elliott Wave, why it works, the KISS method, and then we go through your chart setup and tools, all the tools you need to use with Elliott Wave, how we use them and why. And the Elliott Wave for Beginners area where we go through each of the waves, how to measure them, how to understand the paths, how to find these key levels, how to find these setups. It's really a big advantage and lets you understand this market in a way that makes sense. Now, the cool thing about these courses is if you want to get them at a discount, we do have our bundle package where you get $37 off and you get both courses. But if you just want to get them for free, this is the best value. It's crazy. Simply join one of our monthly rooms, as all of our training material is included at this price. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect. I also go over things like I did in the front of this video, where we talk about banking, where we talk about gold, where we talk about Bitcoin, where we talk about all of the different things that are in the background that you might not know about that affect the overall market. It's a huge asset to know these things. It's a 45, 50-minute video every single day. And that alone to me is worth the price of admission. We trade this. You also get all the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ. So we do trade, and we swing and day trades. So we do trade quite often in my room. But if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, and advanced trading, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, income trading, advanced trading, and futures trading. His advanced trading method is a reduced risk binary method. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and how he structures that trade is unique. It's something you have to see to understand. That's another reason for that 7-day free trial. And he also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, our key takeaways for today. We are looking for continuation to the upside toward that 5980, but I think more accurately the 6009 level. We would look for some extension. We would look for a pullback after that towards 5853, and as long as the market remains above 5853, we are bullish to 6300. If they do break 5853, we can see a flush pretty quickly back to that 5725 area. Over on the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, we would expect more continuation as well. The pivot is the 21,000 to 21,300 area. We would expect some consolidation there at the all-time highs, and then a breakout up towards 21,776. They can extend all the way to 22.2, but I would expect the 1.0 to be the first target. And as long as they remain over the 20,450 area, this market is bullish, and we would look for 23,000 plus overall. If they do break down below this, it's very likely we go down to 20,000, and also likely we break that level. Guys, that is your market update for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.